Hey comrades, and welcome back to From the Depths with me, Richie. Now in this episode I plan to continue wiping out the white Flayers, hopefully taking and destroying as many of the territories as possible. I think it's probably going to take possibly 2 parts to do it. Though what I may end up doing is editing out some of the battles, since they're getting, to be honest, a bit of the same thing really. I mean, we've seen a zealot fighting a zealot and a Carcharodon now a few times, so I don't want every battle to be just that. That said, however, I want to make sure we take as much of the territory as possible, so without further ado, let's try and look for enemy territories to push into. I've got the cruiser fleet here, which we can use to push into that territory there, the 150. And I've got the Nemesis coming down as well, so what I might try and do is do a tag team of the territory. That sounds like a plan to me. We'll do that. But first of all, I'll get the Katyusha to cross the territory to provoke them, and I'll drag him into the cruiser and stroke destroyer force.
Moving out.
Okay, select these two and attack these. And we'll see what we're up against. Hopefully something a bit more interesting. That's quite a large fleet, is that actually? We've got a Basher, which I don't think we've faced before. Got a Charon, which we've not faced before. Busso, which I think we've faced a few times. Sea Flayer. Not sure about Earthraker. Yeah, we've seen that before. A Harpoon, a Stinger, a Martyr, and a Spike. So I think what we'll do, we'll transfer to the Norfolk. Make that spawn in first. Followed by, I think we could do with the Orion or the Cossack spawning in, yep. Monitor I think is the least priority to spawn in. Liverpool, we'll probably do with the carrier coming in, so I think we'll do it that way. Okay, well, like I've said before, let's get this show on the road. It looks like one of the Flyers is coming in. He's not been targeted by anyone yet, but we'll get some targeting on him.
Engaging now.
Everyone kill that. Oh, nice, beautiful. That's what I like to see. And Norfolk just ripping holes in what's left of him now. I think it's probably done for now, so we'll switch into the next target. And it looks like the Norfolk's doing quite a considerable amount of damage there with his long range shells. And I think torpedoes as well from him probably hitting by now. And I think the Orion's probably contributing as well to the fray. But yeah, he looks like he's trying to be a submarine. I'm guessing he's probably taking considerable damage below the waterline as well, which is probably why he's sinking. What we'll do, we'll lend a helping hand to him. So yeah, that should shred him rather nicely. Although I think they're having trouble seeing him, to be honest, with him being so low in the water. Nevertheless, they're finding the target now. A bit better. Yep, beautiful. Yeah, those missiles are just about in range. Well, it looks like it's a moot point since he's now disintegrating. So now we're just down to this rather considerable looking beast. Yeah, everyone now. Destroy this, please. This is a bit interesting because we've actually seen different units to what the white Flayers normally been fielding. Makes for a bit more of an interesting battle, I think. And let's just see what we've actually got in play here. We've got the Orion, the Norfolk and the Cossack in play currently, and the Mosquitoes. The Woolworth don't really count too much, to be honest, since it's an unarmed carrier. The good thing about it though is it's rather cheap and it can repair stuff. I tend to like to keep him out of the fray as much as possible, because unfortunately he doesn't tend to last long when he does get into battle. Could consider maybe adding some armament to him, but to be honest, I think he does a fantastic job as it is, to be honest. Yeah, I might have to prioritise him actually. I really don't want him chopping up my not my cruiser. So what I'll do, I'll target him.
Engaging now.
Yep, everyone target him, thank you. Thankfully the missiles are doing lovely damage there, knocking quite a bit out of him. And I think he should be sitting in the water now and dead in the water. Yeah, just see there's a few more shots from the advanced cannons, and I think he should be out of action very quickly. The one bomb from a mosquito there contributing. And the missile swarm is contributing very nicely. And it looks like he's dead and giving up the fight. Rest in pieces. Yep, looks like most of his guns are out of action now. And there goes his rear gun, which is rather nice. Looks like it was an advanced cannon, which unfortunately they tend to explode rather violently. Which means we're just down to, I think, now the mortar and the earthraker. So we just follow the shots where they're going. Yeah, we just need one good hit on the mortar, and it should set off the nuke inside it. Quite deadly if these things get close, so why I like to kill them at range if I can. Yep, and there goes a mortar. Like more torpedoes coming into play there. I think they're picking bits off him. Probably be a lot easier if I had the Liverpool and its cram cannon, because they've got a good chance of actually passing straight through its shields with them going so slowly. The only downside is they tend to be slightly inaccurate due to them being slow. At any rate, looks like his blades are gone. He's just sitting in the water waiting to be finished off now. Which, with any luck, shouldn't take too long. Yep, I think there he goes now. And I think we can call this a victory for the forces of communism. May the communist goat spread across this planet, and may none stand in our way. And now we've got them pinned between my two forces. We've got the Nemesis on one side, and I've got my light cruiser and destroyer fleet on the other. I think what I'll do is I'll try and tag team them here. Can I not drag my... No, it doesn't look like it's letting me drag the Nemesis in. Nevertheless, what do we got? A Carcharodon, a Sin Eater, a Spike, Mortar, Stinger, Wrecker, a Zealot, Charger and an Earthraker. Yeah, I don't think it's too considerable a force really. I think we can just about manage this. Just as we've been doing up till now. I think the spawn order's more or less way up. I don't want to carry on the front line, I want these ships in front of it, thank you very much. I'll monitor a little bit further away. Might as well just bring my cruisers in to cover them from the front actually. Yeah, if I do it this way around I can give each other mutual cover then. Yeah, that looks rather nice to me. Let's check the spawn order. Since we've got the Norfolk in there covering the carrier, I think we can put the Orion back a bit. Try and get the Liverpool to come in third. So yeah, with that set up, let's do this. And away go the mosquitoes into battle. What the hell are they doing releasing the bombs? I'm gonna have to check that later on to see what's going on. They shouldn't be releasing the bombs at this range. And it looks like one of the enemy aircraft is or the Carcharodon is coming in for the fray. At any rate, Norfolk's got the Carcharodon in range now, so he's giving him his own personal welcoming committee. He's still trailing debris rather nicely, so it looks like he's taking some internal damage. And and very nice with the carrier in there. He's helping to repair the Norfolk. So I like to see good a bit of mutual support there. Yep, it looks like he's down and out for the count. And looks like is this one of the zealots in this guy here? Of course it is. And a very badly damaged mosquito there, still hanging in there and fighting on. Sorry, got to show out, old chap. Ah, that's beautiful. I should put him out of the fight. Can I please get some more units spawning in? Not asking for anything too great, just a destroyer or the Liverpool will do nicely. I like the fact that the white flares uses just sabot shells. It means if you have any kind of decent shielding on him, most of the time you're just going to see shots bouncing off him. There's shots bouncing off you, should I say. Like it is pretty similar to the car carried on with the turrets. And here's one I haven't seen for a while actually. I think if I remember right, this used to be called a buzzsaw. It's now called a wrecker. For some reason when I saw buzzsaw in some of the earlier fights, I thought it was going to be this guy. Rather fragile, if I remember correctly.
Engaging now.
Well, at least he used to be anyway. Whether or not he's been... I was going to say if he's been bumped up or not, but I guess not. Against these shells, he thankfully falls rather nicely. So let's just check the map and see how we're doing. We've got Sinita circling around. The Zealot heading out off into somewhere into the sunset. And the Earthraker just waiting to come in. And he is done for now. May he rest in pieces. I think it's just the Zealot now. Oh wait, no. We've still got a couple more to come in yet. Earthraker and a Charger. Just needed one or two good hits on this guy and he should be out of the fray. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that Zealot though, that's flying out there. I think it might be out of missile range. So I might have to pull out of this battle and restart it again. Just to get him back into range. That's just annoying, is that? What we can do is board Mosquito and go after him. Also I can help out with the repairs of him as well. Yeah, let's have a close-up look at the Mosquito. Got detectors on the wings. You can see these tilt up and down as well, so it's, in a way it is kind of similar to the car carried on. He's also got fan propellers to drive it forwards, to control the spin of it, the roll of it. And he's control the yaw. And there's some around as well that control the pitch. Yeah, that controls the pitch. I think we've got some in the back as well. I'll do the same. Yeah, there we go. Overall, it's rather a nice little package for the price of 7,940. Yeah, something that's I didn't think would be as effective actually. Perhaps probably could do with making a jet version of this some point. I make a point to do that in one of my designer videos. Just because I don't want to slow down the campaign by getting sidetracked in designing stuff. Plus, if I plan to take a carry up against the lightning hoods, I'll need something like that in the fray to pick off some of the faster ones. I think I'm just gonna have to. I think I'm just gonna have to pull my fleet out and start the battle again. Okay, with the Nemesis leading this battle against him, it will not only symbolically link my two fleets, but it also literally link them as well. So let's get on with the show and bring down the last of these two units. That'll help me a little bit if he gets airborne. Means the lasers aren't losing any damage through to water now. Oh, that's beautiful. That's particle shot there, just triggering off some explosive inside him. And may rest in pieces. So now with just his buddy, is it Sin Eater, I think? Oh, the Earth Raker. The Earth Raker, just take out. And then we're linked up our northern and southern fleets now. Beautiful. And yeah, it looks like he's had enough now. And victory is ours. And at last the fleets have met up with each other and combined. I've decided to add the light cruiser Penelope or the laser tugboat into the destroyer squadron to help bolster that a little bit. And the Nemesis is now amongst the Liverpool and a Norfolk, so they'll be able to work a little more effectively now with laser support for both fleets. Okay, now it's time to look for more territory to capture. I think the obvious one is to take this 53 square straight next to me. So I think we'll get set up and then get on with that.
Moving out. Moving out.
Okay, I think for this battle I'll be using my destroyer squadron. It'll be the combat debut for the Penelope, so hopefully it'll do me proud. Yeah, I think if I get the Penelope in first, I carry the Orion and the Cossack and the Monitor. It's a good setup. I'm up against the Gymnera, a Harasser, which I don't think I've seen before, and a Spike. So I'll jump onto the Penelope, and as I've said before, we'll get this show on the road. And I think this was one of the light aircraft. No sign of the big one yet. But I'm confident we can handle him with what we've got here. Thankfully I'm getting the little aircraft out of the way first before we just have the one target to focus on, which should make it a bit easier since we're not splitting fire between different forces. That's the Harasser. That was the Harasser. And there goes one of his turrets. Good riddance. And two of his turrets even. This rate I think is going to be running out of weapons, and this looks like the Monitor spawned in, so we're seeing those heavy crams come into play now. If one of those hits, they should be able to put him out the sky. Although, then again, having said that, it looks like we've done that already. So I call that a rather nice and easy victory for forces of communism. Glorious. I'd say for the Penelope, this is a successful combat debut. Funny all my debuts went this well. I've had in the past where I've made something in the design I thought was absolutely fantastic and went in a campaign and it's turned out lousy. A prime example of that would probably be the Amazon from the first episode. I was expecting mainly to face boats and the Deepwater Guard campaigns, and of course I ended up seeing Flyers in there instead. Sod's law really. Plan for one thing and you face another. At any rate, we've adapted now and made the Amazon into something a bit more useful now. And I think we're going to be pushing east and taking the village very shortly. Continuing my theme of constantly changing things around, I've decided to split the Penelope off into its own fleet. And I've also added the light missile cruiser, the Calliope, to the fray. Yeah, when I say light missile cruiser, that's well, yeah, I got a bit carried away with it. Basically taking missile spam to a whole new level, really. But combined with these two, I think they'll do good against a fleet that's just to the south of me.
Listening.
So what I'll do is I'll send the Amazon across to cross the border, and then we'll give these two newish units their combat debut. This time without any other units to back them up. I'm pretty confident they can actually easily take what's in the square. Though saying that, it might end in disaster spectacularly.
Moving out. Listening.
So I want the Penelope in there first, and then the Calliope to spawn in second. I think with the low amount of units they have in there, they should both be spawning in. And we're up against a Basher. No, the Calliope will hold its missiles until the enemy's actually in range. Which, judging by all of the ones being fired off now, he is now in range. I think the torpedoes from the Calliope will be on their way as well. Well, whether they get there before he dies is another question, really. Yeah, I think the accuracy of the Penelope at range is a bit iffy. But once it actually gets close, it gets a bit closer, then it starts to improve a bit. Also go over the Penelope as well, just to show what I've actually changed in it. I've done a bit of changing designs of the aesthetics of it, making it look a bit better. And I changed around the main guns as well. And I've missile turret on top as well. But apart from that, it's pretty much the same unit that I built in the designer. Obviously repair bots added as well, just to complement it a bit. I'll take a closer look at the Calliope as well. I think this gun's firing high explosive shells, is it? Maybe? Either that or heat or Hesh rounds, one of the two. The main bank of missiles hasn't even fired yet because it's still out of range. And if there's one thing when you're designing missiles I must stress as well, make sure you put a friend and foe recognizer on there. Otherwise there's a good chance your own missiles will turn around and decide, oh, we've got a nice big target there, we'll sink it. Even though it's just yourself that fired those missiles. Yep, missile intelligence isn't the best.
Moving out.
So, continuing on with our battles, we'll take out this mobile force and then move on to village next. And we're up against a Zealot, a Martyr, and a Sin Eater. Conveniently, I think they've all spawned on land, so that should make our job a little bit easier. And there go the missiles straight onto my body, which I really didn't want, actually. In fact, where the hell are they going? Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. I don't know what on earth is going on there. And it looks like these zealots found my ship. But thankfully, the missiles have found him. So hopefully they'll swing around and not go for the Penelope. No, really, they better not be going for the Penelope. And hopefully it can right itself with any luck. Yeah, that's more like it. They're actually heading towards one of the enemy ships there, which is already disintegrating. So, back to the Zealot now. And thank you. Never say no to levelling up. And you're going to have to check these missiles. I'm not sure why they're going... Oh no, don't go for him again. What an asshole. But anyway, gets a bunch of missiles up his backside for his trouble. And it's causing a bit of a lag there as well. And with any luck, that should have put him mostly out of action. Although it's looking like my ship's nearly out of action now. But at any rate, yeah, I can just see him in the background there disintegrating. So that's a job well done. I think that's think that's all of his ships taken out now. Unless there's that martyr, I think he's already dead. Yep, another victory for the forces of communism. And now it's time to commit some atrocities on a defenceless village. Well, semi-defenceless village. I'm going to be using the Norfolk, the Nemesis, and the Liverpool to deliver the killing blow here. And I think I'll put the Liverpool slightly higher actually, since these cram cannons are probably going to be a little bit more effective in this battle. So what are we up against? We got Mistina's Pit, a rather large outpost. Various houses of various sizes, some turrets. Executioner turrets. There's quite a lot of executioner turrets actually. So let's do this. And the shields are working rather nicely there. I think what I want to do is take down these turrets as quickly as I can. Hopefully my Liverpools realise that and he'll be targeting them as a priority. I wasn't expecting 4 of them sat on the beach there. It looks like one of them's pretty much out of action. No.
Engaging now.
Yep, he's dead. So I'll target the second one, which I think I already am doing.
Engaging now.
You can just see those shots raining down rather nicely. Yep, it's beautiful. This is with the Liverpool in its ideal place really. Ideal use bombardment. Something the crown cannons seem to excel at. And I think he's probably done for now, so yeah, I think he's definitely done for. Stop firing and yep, disintegrating. So move on to the next one. Or not, as it's already destroyed. I guess it's just this one now, and then should this be a defenceless village to bombard then? Which thankfully we won't be indicted for war crimes for. Just need one really good hit on him and that'll put him out of action altogether. In fact, if we hit his ammunition, that'll destroy him completely. But it looks like the AI is dead for it, so they're just starting bombarding the village now. And this is, I guess, how the Flayers get rid of people who question their authority. Right, mate, just walk up that ramp and walk straight forward. Have faith in us. Yes, these buildings seem to, even though the houses seem to have quite a considerable amount of armour on them. It's taken quite a while to punch through them. Let's have a look inside. Oh, he's got repair drones. I didn't know that. The table as well, I guess, for plotting making their evil plans. I'm guessing this is probably the coffee machine as well, or meant to be the coffee machine. Is the other? I think the other house is just had. Oh, no, it is slightly different. For some reason, they've got a drill in there. For some reason, yeah, we shan't ask about it. And the obelisk is, yeah, just that, just an obelisk with spikes around. I guess if they have an argument with someone, they throw them off onto the spikes. Yep. Overall, nasty, sordid bunch of people. Ooh, nice, beautiful. And it looks like the Nemesis is in on the action as well. So with point-blank bombardment from the Liverpool and long-range bombardment with the Nemesis, I think this is going to be a pretty easy victory for my forces. Just look at the sheer carnage coming from the Nemesis. And I think it's just a big structure to spawn in now. He should be spawning in right about now. Seriously, what the hell is wrong with these Flayers, guys? The answer to that, of course, is that they challenge communism. There's only one answer to that. Total destruction. And I think he's done for. Rather nice and artistically designed. I'll give it that. And continue my theme of destroying villages that get in my way. I'm also bringing the courageous and the furious in to destroy this rather large, considerable village here. We've got a variety of units: medium houses, supply towers, large houses, more turrets, sacrifices, Ecclesia Montam, the Bloodstone Obelisk, which I think is probably just a similar one to what we've seen so far. And I think we'll bring in, what I'll do, I'll bring in the courageous first of all. I'll make sure he's not spawned too high. No, that's too high. About there, that's the right height to spawn in at. I'll start bombing the village, and I'll probably move this as well to assist in bombardment. So I think what I'll do is I'll hover over the village and just watch the destruction from the air as they finish them off at their leisure. And the carnage is beautiful. I think the turrets have taken them quite a brunt of the action there, and they should be out of action now. If not, shortly. Some of the houses and the supply turrets getting battered there, and one of the executioner turrets is down. So I can just take out his buddy now. He'll be a defenceless village to bombard. And units are swinging around for the next attack. They should have reloaded by now. And hopefully they won't crash into those cliffs either. Here's hoping. It's always a possibility, is that I'm doing something stupid and daft like that. And so far they've actually put out quite a bit of the defences. It seems like both the turrets are all. One turret's destroyed and one seems to be just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. So it's possible I've taken out the ammunition for it or something like that. If I'd have taken out the AI, it would have been disintegrating by now. Okay, I think we know what the result of this is going to be, so I'm just going to fast forward this one to some point in the future when they're pretty much all destroyed. And I just noticed this in the water. I have absolutely no idea what's going on here. I think it's probably a glitch, so I'm probably going to have to restart from the depths after this battle. Lets me save. Yeah, laser beam from space just firing into the water. Yeah, seems legit. And so, after a sustained bombardment of the White Flayers village, it seems the last of the structures now are finally collapsing into rubble. And this marks a great victory for our forces. Or a great atrocity, one of the two. And again, they do say history is written by the winners, so we'll lie and make up something patriotic and brilliant. Absolutely some about how they put up fierce resistance, etc., etc. I mean, it looks good for the history books. Yep, I think that's a victory for us. And I think that's all I've got time for this episode, so thank you for watching, like, favourite and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode.